I read this book by this guy, John Guswell, and he says it's when you're in your first gale at sea in a boat of your own construction that you really doubt the workmanship that went into your boat. And that's kind of how I feel about my boat. I'm confident that I did it right, but I know that I've built things in the past that have broken, and parts of this boat have broken, and I've had to fix them. So I'm hoping nothing new is going to break tomorrow, but there's always the chance. It's going to be just like that, except I want a piece of Dyneema that will... I built Tatiana in my garage, and in a friend's garage, and in San Francisco, and Jersey City, and Ohio. It took 5 years. Most of the boats you see sailing around the bay are monohulls, and they have lead ballast to keep them upright. My boat is a trimaran, which means it has 3 hulls instead of 1. The hulls on the outside keep the boat upright, but it doesn't have any lead in it. The thing about a trimaran is you have to make the boat really wide to keep it upright. So my boat's 24 feet wide, right? But it sits on a trailer. So obviously you can't go pulling a 24-foot boat down the street. So my boat folds up and unfolds once it's in the water. I drive the trailer up to the crane, and I just latch the boat onto the crane, pull it up in the air, swing it around, and put it down in the water. The designer of my boat is a guy by the name of Ian Farrier. He's been designing boats like this for at least 30 years. And at one time he had a patent on this folding system because it's very easy and convenient. You put the boat in the water, you unfold it, you bolt it down, you go. The San Francisco bar is basically just this ring of sediment that was dumped out there by all the rivers flushing all the sediment from way up in the Sierras. And it's very shallow. Because it's so shallow, the waves can get very steep and they can break. And breaking surf is very dangerous to a boat. Tomorrow's race shouldn't be dangerous, but 2 guys actually did die in last year's running of this race. It was much rougher than it is predicted to be tomorrow, and they were washed over their boat. The lightship is about 12 miles beyond the Golden Gate Bridge, and it isn't actually a ship. It used to be a ship that had a light on it that marked the entrance to the channel through the San Francisco bar and into the Golden Gate, and now it's just a big buoy. We don't really have any strategy for tomorrow's race. It's a very simple race. You go out to the lightship and back. There's only a start line, a mark, and a finish line.
We are first starters, eh?
Yes.
5 past.
Yes.
Okay.
Tatiana crossed the starting line at 9 a.m. and headed out the Golden Gate. As they approached the bar, conditions worsened. Bill was forced to go forward and fix damage from the waves. After a brief delay, Tatiana was back in the race. They rounded the lightship and headed back for San Francisco Bay.
Roger, this is San Francisco traffic, channel 12, channel 12.
That lasted a while.
Tatiana crossed the finish line just over 3 hours after the start.
You don't build a boat because it's cheaper or easier. It's definitely not. You build it just because you like building stuff. I built it just because it seemed like it would be fun.